All right, let's just jump right into it. Today, we're decoding something honestly fascinating. If you've ever picked up a controller or sat at your keyboard and literally could not pull yourself away, you're going to want to hear this. In this explainer, we are digging deep into the hidden psychological designs that keep players absolutely glued to competitive esports. Specifically, we'll look at how these games use ranking systems to completely hook you. So if you've ever wondered why it's so impossibly hard to step away from the screen, let's unpack the exact science behind your gaming habits.
We've all been there, right? Just one more match. You know the drill. It's 2 a.m., your eyes are burning, you have to be up early for work or school, and yet, you whisper those famous words to your teammates. I really want to validate that feeling right out of the gate. It is a completely universal gamer experience. You make this rock-solid promise to yourself to stop, but the game somehow just pulls you right back in. Look, you're not alone in this, and honestly, as you're about to see, it's definitely not a coincidence.
Section 1. Beyond mere entertainment.
See, there's this massive contrast between what we think we're doing and what's actually happening. On one side, we have this illusion, right? You think you're just casually messing around with a digital toy to blow off some steam. But on the flip side, the reality is that you are interacting with a highly sophisticated, data-driven system, and it is deliberately engineered by developers to totally monopolize your attention. It's a clash between your perception of free will and a meticulously crafted environment that is literally built from the ground up to keep you playing.
Section 2. The just one more match phenomenon.
Okay, I want everyone listening to just let out a massive sigh of relief right now, because it is not a lack of self-control. It is deliberate game design. You can go ahead and reassure yourself with that fact. Your inability to step away, that intense, almost magnetic urge to queue up for just one more round, that is exactly what the game was built to achieve from day one. Every single pixel, every sound effect, every progression bar is working in total harmony to completely bypass your rational decision-making.
Section 3. The psychology of competitive gaming.
So this brings us to the real million-dollar question. Why exactly are competitive games so addictive? What is the secret sauce that transforms a simple piece of software into an absolute obsession? To move past just noticing that we're hooked and really dive into the why, we need to break down the specific psychological tools developers use to keep us completely invested. Think of it like the perfect psychological trap. It's a trifecta made up of 3 equal, heavily interconnected parts. We're talking ranking systems, rewards, and human behavior. If you remove even one of these slices, the whole addiction loop just falls apart. But when they are combined, oh man, they create an absolute ironclad grip on your attention.
Section 4. Rankings, rewards, and behavior. Let's deconstruct this.
Here's where things get really fascinating, because ranking systems are the absolute master key to how these games hook you. We often think of them as just innocent leaderboards, right? Just a handy way to match players of equal skill. But actually, they are incredibly powerful tools that manipulate our deeply ingrained human desire for social status. When you look at your rank, you are essentially looking at your digital self-worth within that specific community. Climbing from a lower tier up to a shiny new rank, that gives you a profound, massive sense of achievement. But here's the real kicker. The fear of losing that rank, the dread of demotion, that is what forces you to keep playing just to defend your status. It is an endless treadmill. The ranking system is the primary engine driving this whole hook because it perfectly weaponizes our natural human drive for status. It makes every single match feel incredibly high stakes. And working right alongside those high-stakes rankings, we have rewards. Let's call it digital dopamine. The game strategically drips out these rewards. Maybe it's a flashy new skin, an epic victory screen, or some bonus XP. But the catch is, they do it in an unpredictable, intermittent rhythm. You don't win every time, right? And you definitely don't get top-tier loot every time. So your brain gets completely hooked on chasing that next unpredictable hit. Psychology actually tells us this intermittent reinforcement is literally the most effective way to encourage compulsive behavior. It's exactly how slot machines work.
All of this builds right into the third piece of our puzzle, human behavior. This is the core vulnerability. Honestly, rankings and digital rewards wouldn't work at all if they didn't have a biological foundation to latch onto in our brains. Through evolution, we are hardwired to seek out resources, to strive for status within our tribes, and to constantly look for patterns. So, the game just steps in and provides a highly optimized, artificial environment to exploit those natural drives and just let them run absolutely wild.
So, let's walk through how this endless loop actually plays out in real time. Step 1, you play the game. Step 2, the game immediately evaluates you, assigns you a rank, or gives you a reward based on how you did. Step 3, that outcome instantly triggers your deeply rooted behavioral need for status and achievement. You either want to climb even higher or desperately recover the points you just lost, which inevitably leads to step 4, where you tell yourself, just one more match. Snap. The trap closes and it forces you right back to step 1. It's basically a perpetual motion machine built out of human psychology.
Okay, so what is the ultimate point of knowing all this? We're not just dissecting software here. This ties directly back to your own self-improvement. Because by understanding this psychological trap, especially the heavy pull of those ranking systems, you can actually start to recognize your own behavioral triggers. Next time you feel that intense urge to play one more round, you can literally pause and realize, wait, that's just the game's architecture talking to my dopamine receptors. This knowledge, it's power. It is your toolkit for reclaiming control over your time and finally managing your gaming habits in a way that is conscious and healthy.
We've mapped out the illusion of mere entertainment. We've broken down the incredibly powerful hook of those ranking systems. And we've fully exposed the behavioral loop. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final thought. Now that you understand the psychology behind it all, who is actually controlling the next match? Is it you or is it the game? Take a moment to really think about that the next time you log in.